All right, welcome on back to another episode of First CSP, the channel dedicated to bring you the first council shoulder patch issued from each council in Scouting America, both past and present. Today we're going to take a look at Lone Tree 749 out of Massachusetts. Council was originally chartered in 1926 and lasted up until 1992 when it merged with North Bay and North Essex to form Yankee Clipper 236. Only a couple of patches produced by the council at all. We'll take a look at a few here today, starting on the patch table with the T1 with its black border, white background, and red letters. The main distinction between the T1 and the T2 is going to be a red BSA is added at the title for the T2s. Now, we are fortunate enough, as this is a New England council, to have the full documented history of production runs by council collector Rob Cutts. So this is an example of the first produced patch we know because it does have a plain cloth back. So that was the first T1. There is a second T1 that also exists where the backing is plastic over the gauze cloth back. We don't happen to have that one to show you today. And then they have the T2. The T2, as I said, adds the BSA, but does look very similar. So you always want to take a second look to make sure, does it have BSA? That's a T2. Does it not? That's a T1. The first T2 production run that Rob has documented is a plastic back, but it's a plain plastic back. And then the other T2 production run that was done would be this one. And that one is easily identified with its plastic over the gauze cloth back. So there is one that has a backing similar to this for the T1, just no BSA. We only had the plain cloth back, which was the first produced. So here's the two production runs of the T2. And then they had another small CSP. It looks completely different with blue background, red border, was a camper ship issue. Very few were produced, but isn't going to be confused with these. So, again, whether or not it has the BSA at the end is going to delineate between the T1 and the T2. There are two production runs of the T1, a cloth back, and then a plastic over gauze cloth back. This cloth back, as I'm saying, I should mention, it is gauze. There is gauze there that you can kind of make out the texture. So it is a plain gauze was the first, and then a plastic over gauze for the second production run of the T1. And then there's two production runs of the T2, which we looked at here today, a plain clear plastic, and then a plastic over gauze back was the second run. And there you have the first issues for Lone Tree Council out of Massachusetts, obviously covering Massachusetts and New Hampshire, as you can see on the CSP itself. Hope you guys have enjoyed this episode of First CSP. We'll be back again tomorrow with another brand new episode. Hope to see you back here for that. Until then, thank you all for tuning in, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.